Waters are fast-moving.
Unlike other big rallies,
Welcome to #PHVote 2013.
Today on Rappler, Manny Pacquiao ends retirement rumors, dominates the younger Rios for his comeback win. As typhoon-hit areas begin rebuilding, the government sends geologists to map danger zones. And in a breakthrough deal, Iran agrees to temporarily freeze its nuclear program in exchange for sanctions relief.
Hello, I'm Maria Ressa. Welcome to Rappler, your social news network. Dominating the younger Brandon Rios, Manny Pacquiao shows the boxing world he is back. Natasha Gutierrez reports.
It's a sweet victory for Manny Pacquiao and the people of the Philippines. Not only does the 8th Division World Champion prove to the world he still has much left in him, the triumph also lifts the spirits of his countrymen looking for much-needed inspiration after Super Typhoon Haiyan. Pacquiao delivers. From the opening bell, a dominant Pacquiao shows superiority over his less experienced opponent, Brandon Rios. He lands his punches from unexpected angles and uses his speed to avoid Rios' hands. Rios does not provide much of a threat. He takes Pacquiao's punches but barely throws his own. Pacquiao continues to outbox the Mexican-American until the end. He wins by unanimous decision. Of Pacquiao's 281 punches that connect, 241 land on Rios' head. Rios says it's Pacquiao's speed that caught him off guard, but insists Pacquiao didn't hurt him.
I never got hurt in the fight. He never hurt me at all. I never got stunned, nothing. I think the quickness just threw me off guard.
Pleased with his performance, Pacquiao silences critics. Retirement rumors flew after Pacquiao's knockout 1 year ago.
I told them that this is not my time yet. So my journey will continue, and I said we will rise again, and that's what happened.
His trainer Freddie Roach is also happy with Pacquiao's showing, but he says Pacquiao could have dropped Rios.
Yeah, he did take it easy in the last round. I feel he didn't put the step on the gas pedal. I think he could have finished Rios, but the thing is, he told me there was no sense in beating him up anymore. He beat him every round, and he said there was no sense in trying to hurt the guy. So his compassion did get in the way a little bit.
There is no knockout, but the win is enough to convince fans Pacquiao is back. That night, Pacquiao hosts a Christian fellowship to give thanks. The next day, one final Bible study in his suite led by actor Stephen Baldwin before returning to his hometown in General Santos City. He vows to visit areas hard hit by the typhoon. More than just a sporting victory, Pacquiao's triumph is symbolic. It's a source of pride and unity for his countrymen, especially after a difficult few weeks at a time of rebuilding for the Philippines. It's a reminder that typhoon-ravaged areas too can rise again. Natasha Gutierrez, Rappler, Macau.
Promoter Bob Arum brings up names of possible opponents for Pacquiao. These include American Timothy Bradley, who defeated Pacquiao early last year in a controversial split decision, Juan Manuel Marquez, Pacquiao's rival, who dealt him a devastating 6-round knockout in December 2012, and Floyd Mayweather Jr., widely considered the top boxer right now. Pacquiao's trainer Freddie Roach says he personally wants to fight Marquez again, but the Mexican would want a lot of money for a 5th fight. Pacquiao challenges Mayweather.
My job is to fight. So I'm not, anybody who can, who will fight with me. I can fight. I mean, I'm willing to fight Floyd. But it's up to him. It's up to him if he's willing also.
Pacquiao's win redeems his boxing career, but it also inspires Filipinos battered by Super Typhoon Yolanda, international name Haiyan. Paterno Esmaquel reports from Tacloban City.
2 weeks ago, a fortress of fear. On Sunday, a hall of recreation. Hundreds of survivors of Super Typhoon Yolanda returned to what was once their evacuation center to watch a make-or-break boxing match between Manny Pacquiao and Brandon Rios. Soon after entering the Tacloban Astrodome, 58-year-old Emma Parientes breaks into tears. She says the place evokes her worst memories.
Yan ang kasi naalala ko talaga yun na hindi pa nagsimulang ang bagyo, dyan kami. Ang akala ko matuloy ang himbing ng tulog namin.
Parientes watches the boxing match alone. Her children live elsewhere. Like over 1,600 others, her husband Alberto is missing.
Sana kung anong manalo si Pacquiao para matulungan niya mga tao naghihirap galing sa bagyong Yolanda.
Parientes gets her wish. Pacquiao beats Rios in a unanimous decision. The Tacloban Astrodome erupts in cheers. Typhoon survivors celebrate not only the boxer's victory, but also his promise to help the ravaged city.
Kamisahe ko lang kay Pagman, ito dala ko ang flag natin, yung bansa natin. Sana pumunta ka dito ng Tacloban, tulungan mo kami sa kalagayan namin ngayon. Mahirap na kami, mahirap na yung Tacloban. Bagong Tacloban! Bagong!
It's a sign of hope after so much death and ruin. For a day, this place of tears becomes a place of cheers. From Pacquiao's winning match, typhoon survivors return to their daily battles with one more thing to smile about. Katerina Francisco, Rappler, Tacloban City.
More than 2 weeks after the super typhoon, the government begins the Herculean task of rebuilding shattered communities. Experts say it will cost billions of dollars and take years to revive areas flattened by the typhoon. At least 5,235 people are dead, with more than 10 million people affected. There is no official estimate for the recovery and rehabilitation cost, but Socioeconomic Planning Secretary Arsenio Balisacan says it could go as high as 250 billion pesos or $5.8 billion. Top priority is rebuilding homes for the 4.3 million displaced people and making sure their homes are typhoon resistant. The Mines and Geosciences Bureau will send 5 geologists to survey areas in typhoon-ravaged Leyte. It will take a week or 2 for the team to complete the mapping of so-called no-build zones, areas vulnerable to landslides, flooding, and storm surges where infrastructure should not be built. These danger zones will be plotted on multi-hazard maps that local government units can use as a guide to rebuild communities. President Benigno Aquino is also set to certify as urgent a 14.6 billion peso fund that will go mainly to rebuilding infrastructure. The typhoon caused around 13 billion pesos worth of damage to infrastructure. The International Labor Organization, or ILO, will be one of the agencies providing emergency jobs to millions of people who lost their livelihoods to the super typhoon. Fishermen are among the most affected sectors. The typhoon either washed away or destroyed their boats. ILO Philippines Director Jeff Johnson says, quote, "Emergency employment essentially puts money in the hands of individuals affected." After Tropical Storm Sendong wiped out many fishing villages in Mindanao in 2011, the ILO taught alternative fishing techniques to fishermen near Iligan City. While fishing and agriculture remain crippled, the Labor Department says victims can use their skills to rebuild damaged infrastructure. Interior Secretary Mar Rojas cites a valuable lesson in the aftermath of the super typhoon: secure responders' families first so they can immediately respond to disasters.
Mahirap na asahan silang gampanan nila ang kanilang mga tungkulin kung ang isip nila o ang atensyon nila ay sa paglilikas ng kanilang mga mahal sa buhay. No? Yan ang nakita natin.
Rojas admits the government did not think of evacuating the responders' families. Each year, an average of 20 typhoons hits the Philippines, located along the typhoon belt in the Pacific. Asked why it took the world's most powerful storm for the government to learn the lesson, Rojas says Filipinos learn from experience.
Yolanda ang kauna-unang signal number typhoon number 4 no? Dito sa atin. So tayo naman ay natututo tayo sa ating mga karanasan. So sa teorya, hindi ito naisip.
Contrary to his statement, though, there were 14 previous storms since 1991 where the State Weather Bureau raised signal number 4 in the Philippines. In the immediate aftermath of the typhoon, local disaster response was paralyzed because some officials were killed while others looked for missing family members. The super typhoon also showed how the military's limited resources slowed its ability to respond quickly to disasters. The C-130 cargo planes were the first to be deployed for relief operations in the areas devastated by the typhoon. But the military only had 3 airworthy C-130s. On Monday, the military says it will buy 2 more C-130 cargo planes.
Process of acquiring 2 more C-130s and 2 logistic support vessels, yung strategic sea lift vessel. We're acquiring 2 also. Very important, as you very well know, 3 lang yung C-130 natin. In terms of strategic lift, very important sa atin yung C-130. Nakita nyo ang gamit niya dito during calamities, not just for military operations, but for other operations other than war, like rescue and relief effort.
This will bring the total number of cargo planes to 5, although the Air Force says the ideal number is 9. Senate President pro tempore Ralph Recto says 1 C-130 costs about 2.2 billion pesos, while repairs cost 500 million pesos. At least 16 countries deployed 61 foreign aircraft to the Philippines to help transport relief goods to devastated areas. More than 1,000 young Filipinos gathered to discuss climate change issues on the first day of the Greeneration Summit. Organized by the Climate Change Commission, or CCC, the event brings together policymakers and citizens concerned about climate change. CCC Vice Chair Secretary Lucille Saring says it's imperative to discuss the issue because of the Philippines' geographic location.
Sabi nga nila, we are a mecca of all disasters. The only thing we don't have what? Winter storm. The best way to address a problem is to accept that it can happen. Hindi na ho pwede tayong mag-deny. Science is there to provide certainty of this phenomenon.
In partnership with the CCC, Rappler also launches the Project Agos microsite, a one-stop shop for disaster mitigation and risk reduction management. It integrates crowdsourcing, mapping, and social media in a platform that bridges the response initiatives of the government, civil society, and citizens. The platform allows for a new form of bayanihan, users crowdsourcing information via social media to help each other during disasters.
Because the new bayanihan, your bayanihan, there's a new technical term for it. It's called crowdsourcing. This is Project Agos. It is our collective prayer, and you are a huge part of it. Please join us. Thank you.
The National Bureau of Investigation will look into reports former Ilocos Sur Governor Chavit Singson and his daughter hunted and killed vulnerable and protected wildlife in the Philippines. An Instagram post showing the two holding up carcasses of wild ducks sparks outrage among bird watchers. The wild ducks killed by the Singsons for sport appear to be Philippine wild ducks, a vulnerable species protected by Philippine law. This is not the first time the former governor was linked to controversial wildlife hunting. Singson was severely criticized online for leaked photos showing him hunting lions in Africa for his birthday. In a breakthrough deal that world powers say is the biggest step in efforts to deny Tehran an atomic bomb, Iran agrees to temporarily freeze its nuclear program Sunday. Under the deal between Iran and 6 world powers, Iran will limit uranium enrichment to low levels and give UN atomic inspectors unprecedented access. Iran will also neutralize its entire stockpile of 20% enriched uranium within 6 months. In exchange, Iran gets some $7 billion in sanctions relief. But Israel slams the deal over the weekend as, quote, a historic mistake. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu wants all of Iran's nuclear facilities dismantled for good. Following the nuclear deal with Iran, the United States hints at more sanctions against North Korea over its atomic weapons program. North Korea wants to resume the 6-party talks stalled since December 2008, but the United States says it must first show a commitment to denuclearization. Glyn Davis, the U.S. Special Representative for North Korea policy, says Pyongyang's attempts to engage in dialogue while keeping its program running are completely unacceptable. We believe sanctions and pressure are key in sharpening choices that Pyongyang faces. Let's now look at Rappler's Wrap for today, a list of the 10 most important events around the world you shouldn't miss. At number 6, Japan warns about, quote, unpredictable events following China's unilateral declaration of an air defense zone over areas claimed by Japan and South Korea. Japanese Foreign Minister Fumio Kishida says his country is considering stronger protests, quote, at a higher level after China's announcement. China also releases a set of aircraft identification rules that must be followed by planes entering the area. Japan says it cannot accept these new rules. At number 7, the Oxford Research Group says more than 11,000 children died in Syria's civil war. In a new study, the group says 11,420 children aged 17 years and below were killed. 128 children were killed by chemical weapons in Ghouta, near Damascus, in an August attack the United States and other world powers blamed on President Bashar al-Assad's regime. And at number 8, the Time Lord popped up simultaneously in nearly 100 countries on November 23 in a special episode marking 50 years of the BBC's sci-fi series Doctor Who. More than 1,500 cinemas from Australia to Mexico screened the 75-minute special in what the BBC says is probably the largest simulcast of a TV drama in history. The episode kicked off with the 11th Doctor, Matt Smith, dangling from his TARDIS spaceship as it flew over London. For the full top 10, visit Rappler.com's The Wrap. Filipino-Australian Jason Day completes an emotional return to Australia to deliver an individual and team victory in the World Cup at Royal Melbourne. Day captures his first ever professional event on home soil, shooting a final round 70 to defeat Denmark's Thomas Bjorn by 2 strokes. Day comes into the event with tragic news of the death in the Philippines of his grandmother, 6 young cousins, and an uncle from Typhoon Haiyan. Multi-awarded film Ang Pagdadalaga ni Maximo Oliveros is now a musical featuring 30 original Filipino songs. Jitonji reports.
I'm here at the PETA Theater Center to talk to the musical composers and the star of Maxi the Musical. Adapted from the 2005 film directed by Aurelio Solito, Ang Pagdadalaga ni Maximo Oliveros tells the story of an adolescent gay boy in Sampaloc, Manila. The film has won awards both here and abroad. Now the acclaimed story hits the stage as a full-length musical. William Elvin Manzano, one of the musical composers, says original Filipino works like Maxi enriches our culture and language.
It is my story, it is your story, no matter where you live, no matter what your social status is. As long as you're a Filipino, you will understand and you will feel. I think we should have our own things that are going on for us, something that we can actually sing with our language.
Javot Galang plays Maxi in the musical. Galang joined a talent contest for a local TV show and his video went viral. Maxi the Musical marks his first work in theater. He says he shares similarities with the character Maxi.
Halos yung kwento po ni Maxi, kwento na rin po ng buhay ko. Kasi ang pinagkaiba lang po namin, sweet siya, ayun nga po. Kasi po sa amin, kapag masaya po ako, masaya naman po lahat ng family ko. Then, hindi lang naman, tanggap din naman po ako sa family namin na ganito ako. Yun po, maaga po ako nakapagladlad.
The musical features over 30 original Filipino songs with book and lyrics by Nicolas B. Pichay and music by Manzano and his co-composer Janine Santos and JJ Pimpino. Maxi the Musical, Ang Pagdadalaga ni Maximo Oliveros, is running till December 8, 2013 at PETA. For a laugh-out-loud time, till you cry but every bit is touching, this is a must-watch. Jitonji, Rappler, Manila.
Every story on Rappler has a mood meter, which gives you 8 emotions to choose from. Click how you feel and your vote comes down to the mood navigator in the middle of the front page. That crowdsources the mood of the day. It also gives you the top 10 stories that have affected our readers and viewers the most. These stories have gotten the most number of votes on their mood meter. If you take a look today, we've got Pacquiao beats Rios in unanimous decision, 69% happy. Interestingly, there's 3% afraid. Just last night, we have June Keithley dies, 96% sad. But if we take a look, the story that's gotten the most number of votes is this: the politics of compassion about the way Yolanda or Typhoon Haiyan has been handled and how politics may have gotten away. It is a thought leader piece by Carla Montemayor, 67% angry. That red, leading to the mood of the day. Today, most people are angry. Well, that is Rappler's Newscast for today, Monday, November 25, 2013. Visit Rappler.com and watch our newscast Monday to Friday. Tell us how you feel on our mood meter and help us crowdsource the mood of the day. I'm Maria Ressa. As we say at Rappler, tomorrow begins today.